body, severed in half, left on display like a twisted piece of art. No blood, no evidence of a struggle, only a haunting mystery that has baffled investigators for over 75 years. Unraveling the enigma of the Black Dahlia. Los Angeles, January the 15th, 1947. A city bustling with post-war optimism is about to be shaken by a discovery so gruesome that it will become one of the most infamous unsolved murders in American history. In the early morning hours, a passerby stumbles upon a horrific scene in Leimert Park. The lifeless body of 22-year-old Elizabeth Short, brutally mutilated and posed with unsettling precision. Dubbed the Black Dahlia by the press, Elizabeth was known for her striking black attire and an enigmatic presence that captivated those around her. Her moniker is believed to be inspired by the 1946 film noir The Blue Dahlia, reflecting the dark allure that surrounded her persona. This chilling discovery not only exposed the city's underbelly but also ignited a media frenzy, turning Elizabeth Short's tragic end into a symbol of Hollywood's dark side, a mystery that continues to perplex and haunt us to this day. The investigation and initial leads. LAPD's massive manhunt. In the wake of Elizabeth Short's brutal murder, the Los Angeles Police Department launched one of the most extensive investigations in the city's history. With over 750 investigators, including sheriff's deputies and state patrol officers, law enforcement scoured the area for clues. The case's notoriety led to over 60 confessions, but each fell apart under scrutiny, offering no solid evidence to convict anyone. Many suspects were attention seekers, while others were dismissed due to lack of credible proof. The investigation took a chilling turn when the Los Angeles Examiner received a package from an anonymous sender. Inside were personal belongings of Elizabeth Short, including her birth certificate, photographs, business cards, and an address book. The sender had taken great care to wipe the items clean, just as Short's body had been carefully washed, leading police to suspect the killer himself had sent the package. The taunting letters. Soon after, letters allegedly from the killer were sent to newspapers, taunting investigators. The messages were crafted using words cut from newspapers, mocking authorities and fueling public hysteria. Police believed these were written by the murderer himself, adding a sinister psychological layer to an already gruesome case. Autopsy findings. The precision of a killer. As forensic experts examined Short's body, they were struck by the eerie precision of her wounds. She had been completely severed in half, a technique rarely seen outside medical settings. This method, known as a hemicorporectomy, was a surgical procedure taught in the 1930s. The cut was made with near-surgical precision, severing the lumbar spine between the second and third vertebrae, an indication that the killer had knowledge of anatomy or medical training. Investigators also found a deep vertical laceration stretching from her navel to her lower abdomen, as well as grotesque wounds on both sides of her face. These extended from the corners of her lips, an infamous Glasgow smile, measuring approximately 4 inches long on one side and 2.5 inches on the other. The deep cuts had bled profusely, suggesting they had been inflicted while Short was still alive. While Short's skull was intact, forensic pathologists noted bruising on the front and right side of her head, along with bleeding in the brain's subarachnoid space. This suggested she had suffered blunt force trauma, likely rendering her unconscious before she was mutilated. The official cause of death was determined to be hemorrhaging from the facial wounds and the shock from head trauma. Although signs suggested potential sexual assault, forensic tests found no traces of sperm, leaving investigators without definitive proof. Medical training or sadistic killer. The precision of the cuts led detectives to consider the possibility that the murderer was a doctor, surgeon, or someone with anatomical expertise. This theory sent investigators searching through medical professionals, morgue workers, and even students in surgical training programs. However, no solid suspect emerged from these inquiries. Despite the best efforts of law enforcement, the trail began to grow cold, and the case slowly faded into history. But one thing remained clear. Whoever had done this was no ordinary killer. Key suspects and theories. The Black Dahlia case has perplexed investigators and the public alike, leading to numerous suspects and theories over the decades. Among them, Dr. George Hodel stands out as one of the most infamous. Dr. George Hodel, the most infamous suspect. Dr. George Hodel was was a wealthy and prominent physician in Los Angeles during the 1940s. He was known for his intelligence and connections within elite social circles, including friendships with artists like Man Ray. His son, Steve Hoddle, a former LAPD homicide detective, later accused his father of the Black Dahlia murder. Steve's investigation revealed several compelling pieces of evidence: suspicion of medical expertise, the precise nature of Elizabeth Short's mutilation suggested surgical skill, aligning with Dr. Hoddle's medical background, capturing him making incriminating statements including, "Supposin' I did kill the Black Dahlia. They couldn't prove it now. They can't talk to my secretary because she's dead." These recordings intensified suspicions but did not lead to charges. Artistic parallels. Steve Hoddle proposed that his father's friendship with surrealist artist Man Ray influenced the posing of Short's body, drawing parallels to Ray's disturbing imagery. Cadaver dog evidence. In 2013, cadaver dogs detected the scent of human decomposition in the basement of Dr. Hoddle's former residence, the Soden House, adding weight to suspicions. Despite these findings, no physical evidence directly linked Dr. Hoddle to the crime, and he was never formally charged. The mob connection. Another theory suggests Elizabeth Short had ties to organized crime figures in Hollywood. Speculations arose that she may have been involved with mobsters and knew too much about their illicit activities. This theory posits that Short was silenced to prevent her from revealing sensitive information. However, concrete evidence supporting this connection remains elusive. The media frenzy and public obsession. The media played a significant role in shaping public perception of Elizabeth Short. Sensationalized reporting transformed her into a mysterious femme fatale, overshadowing her victimhood. Wild speculations linked her to Hollywood elites, secret affairs, and illicit activities, often without substantiated evidence. This portrayal not only muddied the investigation but also perpetuated myths about her life and death. The myriad of suspects and theories underscores the complexity of the Black Dahlia case. Despite extensive investigations and public intrigue, the true identity of Elizabeth Short's killer remains a haunting enigma. Unresolved questions and lingering mysteries. The Black Dahlia case remains one of the most disturbing, unsolved murders in history. Decades later, critical questions still haunt investigators and true crime enthusiasts alike. Why was Elizabeth Short killed in such a ritualistic manner? The precise hemicorporectomy used to sever her body suggests knowledge of surgical procedures. Some believe the killer had medical training, while others argue the crime scene was a calculated display, possibly linked to surrealist art. Was the killer someone protected by power? Theories point to Dr. George Hoddle, a wealthy physician with LAPD surveillance recordings, forensic evidence of human decomposition at his former home, and ties to Hollywood elites. Yet, no official charges were ever brought against him. Was it a targeted killing or a random act? While some believe Short was silenced due to dangerous knowledge, others suggest she was a victim of opportunity, preyed upon by an unknown assailant. The possibility of mistaken identity has also been considered, though never proven. The case remains open. Despite years of investigation and speculation, the true identity of Elizabeth Short's killer remains a mystery, ensuring the Black Dahlia case remains one of the darkest enigmas in crime history. Final thoughts. The murder of Elizabeth Short remains one of history's most chilling unsolved cases. Decades later, the identity of her killer and the true motive behind the crime are still unknown. Was it a trained professional, a figure shielded by power, or something far more sinister? Who do you think was responsible for the Black Dahlia murder? Share your theories in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more true crime mysteries. Next time, we uncover the shocking case of a wealthy tycoon, a sudden disappearance, and a body never found. Stay tuned.